Backstage at Rock on the Range 2018. It is Matt from the rock station Z93, and I am joined by Brad from 3 Days Grace. Brad, thank you for taking some time to join me.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me. What's going on?
Nothing so far. I mean, you missed out. I know you said you guys just got here. You missed out on a bit of a weather delay. I know they had to change the schedule a little bit, but I think you guys are still set, though. Looking at the radar, you may see some rain when you guys are on the main stage later today.
Yeah, let's just hope for no lightning, but rain's okay. I'm okay with jamming in the rain, but yeah, pretty crazy day. Hopefully everybody stays safe, you know?
Yeah, they've got a whole plan in place. I know a lot of people, I keep looking on social media, people bitching about the fact that they schedule the same weekend every year, and every year there's some sort of weather issue and how they should move it. I don't think people know what goes into scheduling a festival of this magnitude.
Yeah, well, was it last year, was it Metallica that got evacuated, or they evacuated while they were on or something? I don't know.
It was Volbeat was on, and they got evacuated, then Volbeat came back on stage, finished their set, and then Metallica went on.
Maybe they should just push it a month, you know? June would be perfect.
It's the Midwest, though. I mean, you're going to get garbage weather no matter when you do it. So
agreed, yeah.
So you guys have a new album out. It's called Outsider. It's been out for a little while now, but it was 3 years since you guys had released new music. What were the 3 years like leading up to Outsider?
Well, we were on the road a lot. You know, we usually, it's kind of a normal thing for us every 3 years to put out a record. So, you know, for us, we were on the road for a good 2 years, and then we took a year to just write. And for this record, you know, we kind of got out of the big city of Toronto, Canada, where we've had the same rehearsal space for 15 years. We wrote every record there. We switched it up. We fixed up my garage, nice big loft, made it like a studio, and just set up camp there in the woods. And just spent a lot of time and just hanging out and having a good time, swimming, having beers, you know. It was a good time, but it was a busy last 5 years, you know. It's been a great run, so we're just looking forward to the next year for sure.
And this was the second album with Matt as the lead singer, and I got to imagine that having that 3 years after the first album to kind of, build your bond with him helped this album tremendously.
Absolutely, when Matt first joined, we were all trying to figure out what was going on. So now he's found his place. You know, he's super confident, and you can hear it in this record. He's definitely shines. You know, and I'm really proud of him for sure.
How would you describe the theme of this album? Because it seems like, as you listen to the record, every song kind of ties in together. There's an overlying theme for the whole album.
Well, when I listen back, I actually just listened back to the record recently, and for me, it's a lot of seclusion. The whole theme of The Outsider is kind of, we grew up that way. We're living in a small town and outside of a big city, and always trying to find our own way. So, I think that's definitely the common theme in this record. Yeah.
The first single is The Mountain. It became a huge hit for you guys at radio and really everywhere else. It was a massive hit for 3 Days Grace. What do you think it is about that song that kind of resonated with fans?
Well, I think there's a glimmer of hope in that song, and I think everybody can relate to some kind of hurdle or hardship or whatever it is that you have to climb and get over. So, it's been amazing. The reception's been great, and we're super excited.
Joined by Brad from 3 Days Grace. Is it true that The Mountain was one of the first songs you wrote for this album?
It was the very first song, yeah. We started jamming that, a year and a half ago, so it's pretty cool to see it come to fruition and just be a hit like it is.
I was going to say, it's got to be a good feeling to know that the first song that you wrote for the album was such a gigantic success.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's one of those things as you're writing, you just kind of put the blinders on and keep going forward, and then, looking back, when we were trying to decide the singles, it was obviously a no-brainer,
Outsider is your sixth studio album, and you guys have been at it. I mean, you mentioned, being at it for more than 15 years, 20 years at this point. How has the music industry changed since 3 Days Grace started, back when I Hate Everything About You really hit?
Well, obviously, I think, obviously CD sales are kind of an old, ancient thing now. Streaming is a huge thing, so... But, touring's kind of the same, Luckily, the rock touring is pretty much the same, and there's still great fans and great festivals and great support with radio, so thank God that's the same, because I do feel for a new band coming in that it's definitely, there's a lot of obstacles, and luckily with social media and the internet, you can kind of overcome that, but it's definitely harder for sure.
Now, you mentioned festivals and touring. You guys have a few festival dates. You're going to do some other shows, and then you've got this big summer tour with Avenged Sevenfold and Prophets of Rage. How did that tour come about?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. We just got the call one day, and we're like, let's do this. Like, it's going to be awesome. We're good friends with Avenged. We toured them before. Great band. Prophets are awesome. I love the new CD, and of course, Rage is amazing. So it's going to be pretty surreal to get up on the stage with them every night and rock out. So.
And then you'll be playing a show in our neck of the woods at the Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Disturbed is only doing 3 shows this year, and you guys are playing with them on July 12th.
Yeah, that's going to be cool. That's coming up shortly. Not far from Toronto, too, so we can take a quick ride down the highway, but looking forward to that.
What are the plans after the summer tours? I assume that with any album cycle, you guys are going to be on the road for a really long time.
Yeah, come that tour, we're basically gone till Christmas. So I think after that, we're going to go back to Europe and do a full 7-week tour in Europe. Come back home for a little bit, then do a Canadian tour, do Christmas, and then we're definitely going to be back in the States for January next year, do a full headliner and keep going. So,
is the plan to take off another 3 years between albums?
I don't know. Like, we never really planned it, right? So, yes, let's just say 3 years.
I hope you guys have a great set tonight. I hope you guys stay dry for the most part. Brad from 3 Days Grace, thank you so much for taking some time.
Thank you, man. Cheers.